we are finally getting underway here, as we are going to have the Isabel versus Mario matchup. And as you mentioned, Isabel got to be a little bit on the floatier side, but I know Twitchy, as the opener for Winthrop, will have a lot to say here. Let's dive in.
Yeah, so here on Smashville, if I'm being honest, I kind of feel like it benefits Isabel because there's less space for Mario to control. But this is actually my favorite stage to play on, and the reason for it is it's so up close and personal that someone like Mario, who's not necessarily a rushdown character, kind of becomes that because there's no real place for to run away from him, as Dorito Bandit chases Twitchy down on that platform, looks for an opportunity for a tech chase, does not find it, but goes deep for that edge guard. Dorito Bandit has to use all their resources to get above and away from those balloons, but Twitchy will eventually get the first stock.
I mean, this is hard fought by both ends. This is not as fast as we saw before. I mean, both these characters are a little bit slower than a Sonic, of course, but their connections, I have to give them credit. Their combos and their carries from side to side of the stage has been impeccable. And of course, Twitchy is rounding it at a much better state than I would say Dorito Bandito is, and is now already stocked up here on 96%, looking to chase even further, might try to go for the grab, misses it, tries the party popper, doesn't really land it, and it is going to be a twist with pot plant. This is Dorito Bandito realizing they're not in a great spot here, and it will only continue onwards as you are fired off the stage. I think you're chased all the way down, and that's yet another for Twitchy.
Yeah, Dorito Bandit is struggling to take this stock, and I kind of see why. And it's because they can't really follow up on any of these stray hit aerials that they're finding. They've missed the window for a lot of the down throw confirms, down throw at ledge into forward air, maybe. And so now you're just looking for stray hit aerials. And don't get me wrong, Mario's got some great stray hit aerials, but when Twitchy is getting tech chase after tech chase, these are not combos, they're strings. As Twitchy is getting every single tech option that Dorito Bandit throws out there and turning it on its head. Twitchy with a 3 stock to open it up. They must have stolen a jump with one of those little projectiles from the slingshot. And it's going to be Winthrop with a strong opener here.
At this point, it is a tough spot to be in, of course, because you're already down 3 in this turn. And the Joker coming out here, I think, is going to have a lot of options, of course. I think it has better recovery when it comes to having that kind of up B, you know, the range, and, of course, having that extra damage boost in the back pocket once you're fully charged up. But, of course, on PS2 as well, a couple more platforms to play with that are much more stable and a lot more comfortable to play on if you are on the stage. So already starting off, great damage, but a great little pick back, as you can see the pocket dimension being utilized very well by Twitchy to start things off.
Yeah, catches out Ventis on that landing, and that's all Twitchy needs to get that percentage league back. Border Sen's on the scene now. You can see Twitchy respecting the burst potential, but in the initial sort of struggle, can I be real? Arsene has not landed a blow yet. So maybe not as much of a factor as we would think. Is that Twitchy spacing around it? Yes, but Venti is also not able to close this distance. This pressure is looking like too much to handle for from the side of Winthrop. Twitchy, a new addition to the roster, but definitely a welcome one from this display that they're putting on here on the Isabel.
I mean, it's just been so comfortable overall, yet again, kind of floating above. And remember, any extra stock that you take here is more than happy to hang on to. And you can see almost Ventus going, I don't like this. I'm sitting at 134, haven't been able to land a proper piece, and now I have to play around a lot of these projectiles behind. Your meter has barely run its course, so let's go ahead and see yet another, if you can. Twitchy with a great hit sends the Joker off the edge, and you're going to float your way back up. Again, where's that finisher? Where's that umbrella to come out here? Great grab, as Ventus is going to try and grab that one stock to start and put themselves in a positional lead, at least in this vacuum of a match. Oh!
Landing with the Nair, I think, was enough to take that one home. Twitchy built that percentage differential and kept it going, and then locks them in place with that jab. 37% on the board already. Twitchy is going on a run through UT Dallas, who, remember, was the 3rd seed and went on quite a run of their own to get here. as Twitchy goes way underneath the stage to delay against that Arsene as much as possible.
Of course, there's a little bit of the Lloyd just jumping out and having some bit of fun, but Twitchy is still racking up the damage by miles here. 85 and carrying, gets the grab even and keeps Ventus off this stage. Once again, just playing with that aerial, but no, that's a great grab, and Ventus is able to fire back, gets stuck.
Yeah, I was about to say close to kill percentage right there, and then Ventus landed straight on top of an up smash. Strong hit of it, but even so, Twitchy at low percents is still there, looking to scrap. Ventus, though, is definitely picking up the pace in their gameplay, but even as they try to play grounded around these dash attacks, Twitchy is right there to match them with a dash attack of their own, and a roll into the Lloyd rocket, into the fishing hook grab is exactly what Twitchy is playing off of. Putting on the pressure here, catches the roll in. Twitchy dashed in and had the forward tilt out to catch the roll before anything. Ventus is getting a little bit predictable with these rolls. They're not safe. You can't do it, but nothing else feels safe for them. And that's because of just how much pressure Twitchy is putting on. Nothing feels safe except jumping in place and aerialing. But that's not getting you much except a few percentage on Twitchy. You've got to get lead traps like this if you want to win this match.
Oh. And Twitchy's saying, you ain't gonna get anything of that sort. Umbrella to end. 148 and counting. You're gonna chase off just like you did before. Slingshot to finish as Winthrop. Twitchy taking 6 for 1.
Then, Snake's recovery does not do well against the fishing rod. She snatches him right off of that cipher when most people would clash with the super armor. So that's another place where Clue is not doing amazing. And the constant barrage of pressure can basically even, with the slingshot, can even out any damage you're getting from the grenades. And all of these things together means that Clue has to play this matchup a little bit different than you would against almost any other character. And we'll see if they manage to do that here as Twitchy gets aggressive off stage. Opportunistic, you used that word earlier, it was the right descriptor.
I think it'll only continue as more flower pots land on top, and you can see Clue trying their own to send out a few of those grenades, but it's just not working. It's just not helping. You are getting flooded out. You have the party popper to deny the roll in here, and Clue is just lost. Great little nade there. Another flower pot to answer. Twitchy is throwing the whole garden at the stock right now as you are chasing for your 7th. Stop sign ain't gonna stop anyone here just yet. There's a streak of a stock option as both get sent careening off the stage.
Clue playing carefully here. Lands with the back air, punishing a kind of maybe accidental grab from the side of Twitchy. As you can see, they can't pull a grenade because every single time they do, Clue just gets caught by the slingshot. And then this down air too, it lingers for so long. It's such a good way to interrupt that recovery, 175%. And if the fishing rod connects, which it does, look, it's just interrupting the recovery every single time. You never see Snakes under this kind of pressure. But Twitchy, because of who they are as a player and the character they're playing, is making it very difficult for Clue to handle this.
It always, and thankfully a stock back now and answer. It always, as you mentioned before, it feels like Twitchy is not the strongest one in the bank, and yet it's almost a surprise whenever we see a stock go by. But for Twitchy, I'm sure this is another day in the office. It is ridiculous how strong they currently are, just taking control of this field once more. And Clue is already at 68%. Another slingshot, great down tilt, just trying to get a little bit of a poke, trying to make sure they catch the Isabel off angle. The Twitchy making sure to play in their right field of mind, trying to go back to neutral, dodging all these bombs so far, trying to dance for Clue's 2nd stock.
And now, as Clue just inches their way close to them, Twitchy is trying to set up this wall. Goes very high consistently, and I feel like that's because Snake doesn't really have many vertical burst options besides, of course, the up smash, which is very committal and very telegraphed. Twitchy avoiding that up tilt. You knew exactly what you wanted. Was not going to jump into that, and the up smash will take another stock off the board right here. Yeah, this might be the most stocks we've seen taken all day, and that's saying something.
Yeah, we saw 7 before. It is now at 8 by a single player, and I think it's only going to continue. This is going to get worse and worse, by the way, I feel like. at least on stream, as that is going to be done. 8 stocks in a row for Twitchy. Still extremely well done here in the opener. With an Ike, it's just a heavy haymaker left, right, and center. So going to Town and City as well, excuse me, this is going to be that test. Again, you don't have the platforms to play on as much for the Snake, so we'll see if it changes, of course.
With Nico on the stage, this is going to be a battle of the disjoints, because every single time Nico hits Clue, they're going to be taking some chip damage from that grenade. But with 3 stocks on the board, it doesn't even really matter. You can trade with the grenade, something that in a 3-stock to 3-stock match would benefit Snake, benefits you immensely. You're turning Snake's game plan against you, piggybacking off of Twitchy's lead that they built for you. And that's the beauty of crew battles. You can play in a way that's unintuitive, and then you can just confirm with a nair to back air, because why not? And with that confirm, that's going to be 9 stocks on the side of Winthrop, 3 on the side of UT Dallas. Winthrop poised to take this first crew battle. Yeah, 100%. As we're loading into this match now. Ben on the Zero Suit Samus has, I think, perennially been one of these anchors for UT Dallas. We actually, I was watching them closely, just in the stock count, in the game leading up to this, where UT Dallas qualified for the grand finals, but still, they're showing exactly why they're the anchor. Some initial good percent on Clue, on Nico, putting themselves off stage, but eventually Nico will stabilize, and now it is going to be Ben who is on the deficit. Now, I don't think they will ever have too much trouble getting off of there. I don't think Nico has too many answers to that flip kick, such a fast option that gets them out of disadvantage, and apparently right back onto stage, right in a position to get an up tilt, as Bent is trying to cover as many options. However, when you're still going blow for blow with Nico like this, and there's still 9 stocks on the board, it is showing that while you are a strong player, Winthrop is still stronger.
Yes, they right now, again, combination of Battlefield more who are struggling here. There it is, just yet another body move, and then half chart forward smash. I love this coming out from Nico here. So we're gonna be watching this one and hopefully seeing that mix up of action. But there it is, up onto the small platform you go, and then a quick slice to send the likes of Bent much further off. There it is, yet another.
Okay, so Nico with 3 stocks to 1 is looking to make this. Okay, they got 1. They got 1, and that's important. But also, it is just a testament to how Nico is playing. I was about to say they're going for these confirms, but the thing is, when you've been playing the same game plan so long, sometimes a tempo variation like that forward smash can really put the fear of Nico into you. As with that pop-up, they're trying to get a ladder combo going, but Nico's just not at the percent for it. But Bent knew exactly how to extend off of that, even without that. Paralyzer doesn't hit, and with that pop-up, they're still living, but not for long. They're still living.
Thank God for the lower platforms. You're able to barely stay alive outside of that knockout range, and you're just like, oh, that's great. And then immediately Nico's like, no platform needed. I'll finish it off. Game number 1-2. The perennial champions here saying, we're right back in the driver's seat. Thank you very much. Let's sling hard and sling some shots as well. As well, opener once again, Twitchy, hopefully giving us a show.
Yeah, Twitchy coming out swinging immediately, but it is Bermuda who's getting some nice early percent. They're letting Twitchy hit the shield and then catching them off guard with an up air, with a jab, but now it's Twitchy's time to shine. Catches the landing on the double jump, actually doesn't, elects to just plant a mine instead. Interesting, but stage control is important, kids. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Stage control will always be an important factor. If you don't control the stage, things go wrong as Twitchy. Did they lose an up air?
I think it was a little... So, I think they tried to grapple to the ledge with the fishing rod, but it just took a little bit too long to come out. It's one of those situations that can happen. We've seen what Twitchy can do with 2 stocks, so we'll see if they continue that. But if Bermuda is able to take out Twitchy this early, that would be monumental for the side of UT Dallas. A whole world opening up before you if that happens.
I mean, at that point, you're just like, hey, we can see the stars instead of the roof that is very, very close to our heads. This is great. Of course, at the start, though, an attempt at a spike, but it's not going to land as the stop sign comes out. You are denied entry with that stock, and Twitchy is able to bring it back to a 2-stock position and immediately ramps up to stick the percentage as well. 31 in the opening, but of course, Bermuda saying and sending some damage right back.
Bermuda playing very disciplined, smelling blood in the water and not wanting to give it up. But Twitchy firing back, playing around this ground game. I love, usually it's Yoshi who's known for just using that that command grab as a interrupt, but it's been Twitchy who's just been catching Bermuda right outside what they believe the burst range to be. As they continue to stack on the percentage. Back air doesn't quite chip through the shield. Twitchy has not really been touched by any serious damaging moves, has not been knocked off stage at all for a little bit. It's just been the Twitchy show as Bermuda tries again and again and again to try to find an avenue of attack.
That avenue is nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Twitchy says, I caught a dinosaur. Let me put him back in the museum real quick. What is that? You could either do that or sell it for 2K. I don't know. This is going to be a piece of that puzzle, though, as Twitchy gave up 1 stock, immediately opens up with possible 2. And possibly 3, but no, Bermuda strikes back and is going to launch Twitchy into a dangerous position now. 1 stock apiece here. Again, the Lloyd just being annoying in that pocket. Bermuda, 44%. Joel.
Okay. Goes in. An up air. Bermuda. Caught out, but this is the closest UT Dallas has been to a lead. You don't want to let it slip away yet, but Twitchy is putting on a lot of pressure at that ledge. Just with normal grab, no command grab this time. You gotta watch out for that Lloyd Rocket, especially jumping down on top of Twitchy. I like them playing on top of their own mine as Bermuda finally gets a chip damage in, but can't convert off of anything.
This is prime for Twitchy to go ahead and take over here. Just 1 more strong hit. You get the grab, you get the toss. It ain't gonna finish anytime soon, but it's enough to put Bermuda into a very tricky situation. Couple head bobs, but the slingshot again denying further reps here. It just feels like it's gonna be a done deal. Once again, it's just chasing for the final hit. 168. There it is. Slingshot to finish us. Twitchy. Maybe not gonna take, what, 8 stocks this time, but still takes the 3 that they need.
I think it's definitely feasible, and the pick of Battlefield is interesting to me, especially given how much verticality Twitchy demonstrated in their previous match. However, I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty neutral stage, all things considered, and neither of them have ladder combos to be concerned of, so if you're comfortable here, be comfortable here. It's definitely a comfort pick of mine, but you know what Twitchy's comfortable with? Taking names, taking stocks, and that's exactly what they're doing. Off of that parry, off of that forward air string. Twitchy looking to maybe recreate some of the magic we saw in Game 1.
Let's see how this plays out. Right now, out come the plant pots once again. This is frustrating to watch. Those pot plants have been, those spotted plants have been the absolute mainstay of why this has gone sideways. 1 balloon was popped, but nothing more than. And I'm wondering who exactly is going to be able to kind of find that first run. Once again, Twitchy on that left side. I mean, man, this is looking rough. I was really hoping Clue was going to have that magic in there, but Clue has not found any sort of magic here. They're out by 133.
Yeah, Twitchy is not really able to get any of these grenades to connect. but a stray back air will just do it.
Ooh.
Ooh, what a spicy little maneuver right there. Twitchy gets a shocking kill at early percents to shut down Clue gets the kill. Sorry, I'm just so used to Twitchy winning that I'm just like preemptively calling the shots there. Like, these 3-stock to 3-stock matches are where Snake shines the most. Or when Snake has a stock advantage. Because Snake can freely trade with you basically anytime he wants, and there's not really a lot you can do about it. It's going to be Clue initially playing around this ground game, playing around the dash attacks and the grenades, just kind of ferrying those explosions into Nico, and so far it's paying dividends, 67% on the board. As Nico tries to follow the action, tries to follow Clue on the way up, it just can't find the mark. It feels like every single time the disjoint is there, it's followed up with an explosion. No matter what Clue does, or no matter what Nico does, Clue just always has something in their back pocket waiting to blow them up.
It's the best way to do it as well, really keeping pressure on, and you can hear the chants even from the NPC crowd saying we want even more. That's Nico to send Clue very, very quickly off stage though, and it's gonna be a danger in and of itself. Right now, Clue in good position to hang on. Great grab, toss down, and then an immediate side tilt, and it's early packing for that first stock. Nico down 1.
This is a new UT Dallas. And I'm really confused because it's the exact same UT Dallas we saw last time. Like, they did great previously, but like, this is an answer to everything. This is what adaptation feels like should feel like. As Nico struggling to get off of this ledge, gets back on there, and gets knocked off stage again, repeatedly. Nico tries to find the approach, but Clue will not walk under those nairs in place. You gotta bait Nico in, as Nico is trying their best to find these nairs with the drift back, but Clue is just always just waiting for it to go off, and then there's a C4 waiting for them too.
Poor Nico is playing Minesweeper plus extra on top. This is one of the roughest points to be in. Anyone that plays against the Snake knows this pain and angle. Once again, already taking those 50s. I love that Clue is using their own stock as a line to play against. And Nico now at 113, as you called again. Those bombs every single time, denying any follow-up. That's going to be a slam on the top ropes, though, as Nico is able to secure at least 2. Are they going to be able to turn around here?
Grenade and mortar by the ledge, but a grab and throw off will get Nico off, or put Clue off the stage without anything too big, but a down throw. But because of the grenade, the down throw did not convert into an up tilt. The problem is literally any mistake, and Snake will dash attack you, or up tilt you, or down air you, and it's just gonna kill. The back air will do it too. And as Nico goes off the stage, UT Dallas has a lead over Winthrop University. Now, the Falco against the Snake is not a fun matchup. I'm going to tell you that right now, Orbital. And there are 3 words on why. Frame 1, Reflector. The Falco... Wait. I think that's allowed? Well, they're playing it out. So what kind of happened is Sybil reflected the box back at them, but then Clue got some chip damage, and I think they just mutually decided, we'll play it out anyway. But as it stands now, besides that reflected box, Sybil hasn't really gotten a whole lot more besides that chip damage. An up throw, though, will be the start of something big, 56% off of those up air bridges, but ultimately they're not going to get a lot more than that, just retreating back into the neutral.
I mean, that's going to be the challenge here. As I said, the neutral stage is the best, it feels like, for a Snake, and that's where you get to run up on the edge. Quick little one tap with the neutrals, and waiting for a bit more of the extra jabs to come through. Low sweep on both ends, though. There's a great carry for Sybil to get some aerial damage here. Another flank to come out. being in a giant pain in the backside as both are reaching that 90 to 100%. Nice little laydown as well. The laser stopping you in your tracks. Slow roll forward, or slow crawl forward, I should say. Right now, this is going to be that dance, a little bit of a sweep in, as that's Sybil to get the backside of Clue, and just wait for that option. Quick little side B. Top platform damage, not a spike though.
Clue nearly off the top there. Tries to put on pressure, but I love that. Just ducks under the forward air. You know what kill move they're looking for. His Clue goes very high. Tries to drop the C4 down. Doesn't quite land, but a down tilt will be the finisher there. Clue rolls right into it, and even after a promising start from Clue, Sybil is able to even the score line. 6 stocks to 6 stocks between Winthrop and UT Dallas. Town and City is a good pick. It's very wide. I feel like Joker has a lot more horizontal movement than Falco does, and on a stage as big as Town and City, well, you're gonna have a lot of chances to use that horizontal movement. You can just see that dash speed already. Sometimes it feels like Joker can just dash right under the lasers, which, speaking of, Sybil just wants to start using that immediately. Does not want to let Ventus ever be comfortable no matter where they are on the stage.
Of course, questions are abound. Quick little chase. Ventus trying to get some turns back. We mentioned that Ventus wants to challenge, but we know Sybil loves to get into the mix. Center stage is where they're going to play. Platforms are gone. So the next about 10-15 seconds, we'll see if it makes any major difference. Quick little piece, though, for Sybil as you change. And here's the arc send. Let's see what you can do with it.
Sybil puts on some pressure at the ledge. Ventus struggling to recover, goes very high. I'm liking these very high descending aerials, but they are a little telegraphed, and Sybil really hasn't gotten hit by them so far. Trying to poke with the guns just a little bit, but in this weird, can I be real, that looked like kind of an intricate rehearsed dance. Like, neither of them were really touching, but they were both using aerials at a very consistent pace, as Sybil is sent off stage here against Ventus. They're trying to stabilize with the forward tilt, can't quite connect it.
I mean, that grab feels good as well. Ventus finally finding their own options, and a great aerial exchange means you meet with forward air, and it is yours to collect. An immediate response back by Sybil, who was a little bit frustrated about losing that one. You were really hoping to take stock one first. That way you can play out, but instead you're met with a little bit of a rebuke. Quick damage going down here. Nice little tick here as you rack up about 20. Ventus trying to make great use of the stock while they still have it.
Sent off the top there. Ventus is playing this very carefully. I've seen they've tried to get Rebel's Guard a few times on these lasers, but I like that they haven't gone for it, because I do think that Sybil has enough horizontal speed to get there, to get a grab, and whatever percent towards Arsene you get off of that Rebel's Guard will not be worth the combo that Sybil will get as they put on pressure on the ledge once again. That lingering forward air will catch them off with the ledge trapping.
Right now, looking much better though for Sybil. Getting some very nice action here on the ledge. Arc send almost running out here. You need to find a bit more punch behind it. That's a great read. Get up, roll. Not going to work, and ooh, you missed the ledge there. So Sybil starting to get a little bit shaken here. Both shield up right in front. Out goes, and Joker is back in. A little bit of stab on this outer platform, though, as it's all about danger. He found the opportunity, but all of a sudden, Ventus gets hit by the up B, and all of a sudden, Sybil saying, hello, we're back right now. Center stage. Let's go at it.
Back air will send them off. But Ventus not really able to exploit Falco's recovery. Not while Sybil saves their jump, which is crucial. Anytime you see them off stage, if Sybil has their jump, they're likely going to survive. Just like that. It's the highest vertical jump in the game. They will just bounce right on back to ledge. As with back air, it will pop them back up, but waits for the side B directly into them. Knows that Sybil's been going for that greedy option to try to get a combo repeatedly, as both of these players living to ludicrous percents for the characters they're playing.
For absolutely no reason, we are going to go down to a one hit at the end of the day, and it's going to go the way of Ventus. Ventus opening up more options for their team. UT Dallas want to be able to make it into the next, force a player 4 from Winthrop after that game number 1. Sibildo wants to have a response back, wants to be able to carry in and see the 4th of UT Dallas instead. 113 on this Joker. It is doable if you find the right hits, but these jumps and leaps are granting the Joker way more damage than you would like.
Down air will pop them up. Some good margins they're getting there on the amount of percentage, but you gotta close out against this Arsene. It can stack up so far, so fast. As Ventis pops them up with that Tetracon. UT Dallas, you know, after getting 8 stocked, I gotta say, or only taking 4 stocks rather, this is a major turnaround, as I love Sybil trying to catch them, not sure where they're going to land with that Phantasm, but Ventis, this is the best UT Dallas can ask for. It really can.
And considering how Ventis kind of fell out last time, I would say it's a huge improvement too, just in a personal growth.
Yeah, 100%. This is a major comeback for them as Sybil gets back to ledge. 169 on the board. Basically a back air will kill. Full rage all across the board, but a parry means nothing to them. A back throw not going to do it either. Sybil barely holding on to this stock. Neither of them can close it out. They're just swinging.
It's one of the most desperate actions I've seen out of either player, and the back air is going to take it. Sybil able to find that stock, so at least we're going into an even state and immediately answered back by Ventis, so you keep your 1. It was so close to being a 2-stock lead. UT Dallas force a 4th from Winthrop.
But it'll be how long it remains on the field is the question. Because if CJ can get the closing blow too fast, then we might be seeing an even scoreline going into the final game of this crew battle. It's a very real possibility.
I like how CJ Frozen learned about, you know, not throwing out the box in case something randomly gets thrown back at you. But we go ahead and start. I mean, there's no major reflex, but it's still like, okay, we got to be careful about that one. Don't want to throw the box to get extra damage. Quick little turn, though, as it is going to be a low sweep kick. And it's granting what feels like CJ Frozen a chance at 7-4. Ventis, as you said already, the arc send is out, and it's in less than a short beat. And right now, CJ is saying, this is all mine. What's up? Let's go ahead and keep fighting.
And then there's Sataricon. Right back at you as CJ Frozen already at 92%, which is not an uncomfortable percentage for Snake to be at. And if this was the last stock that UT Dallas had, that'd be peachy keen. That'd be A-okay. Problem is it's not. And UT Dallas definitely has to contend with the... on that. And the second they're off stage, CJ Frozen has the awareness to send out that Nikita, and we're going to see 3 stocks to 3 stocks in the final match of this crew battle. If CJ, with his 3 stocks, is able to take it home, then that will be Winthrop qualifying for a second time for CECC May Madness.
Oh, no. Okay, so it is just Battlefield. I was like, that looked weird on my end, but no, it is just Battlefield.
Yeah, immediate high pressure right there. As, yeah, CJ is not overcommitting, just letting that Flame Breath wear itself out, peppering them with grenades, waiting for their chance to get in. Ooh, nice little pop-up right there with the up tilt. Stealth Pilot is really unable to get many options to approach besides that Flame Breath, and CJ with actually the percentage lead to open that up with the Bowser Bomb. I mean, not quite as fiery as the other bombs, but that back air is explosive.
Let's talk about the damage that can come out. As you mentioned, this Bowser showing off a little bit. But there's going to be the up tilt. Snaps up the stock back, and CJ Frozen brings it back to a neutral state. And immediately runs away from this invulnerability, but not allowed to. A Stealth Pilot able to grab 45 for free, pretty much.
Ooh, I love that. That grenade pops them out of the Flame Breath. And CJ immediately smelled blood in the water, immediately went for the follow-up. Mortars on the edge, laying on the pressure. Goes for the roll behind forward smash, but the up B off of ledge will be too much for them there. Not challenging Bowser right there. Landing on top of Bowser, I feel like the risk reward is almost never worth it. There's just so many ways you can just randomly die by doing it, especially when CJ can get so much more damage elsewhere.
I mean, CJ right now, though, playing on that 117, this is exactly where you lost the stock last time, and you get pile driven down. You're still alive at 140, but you are pretty much screaming for the stock back, and it's gonna be the mine taking it home. What a detonation.
Can I point out that CJ did the exact same thing twice? Went really high up, dropped a grenade, a C4, a grenade, and then detonated the C4. And hey, if it works, it works. But yeah, even stocks right here. And remember, Stealth Pilot needs to keep in mind, this is maybe the last stock UT Dallas has before the Texas qualifiers. And you don't want to have to play in the Texas qualifiers because you never know who's going to be playing in those, as a fully charged up smash almost takes out CJ Frozen, but the back air's not going to cut it. CJ putting on pressure at the ledge. Mortar puts Stealth Pilot off stage though, but dash attack again, they don't have a jump. They have to rely on their up B, but they miss the Bowser Bomb.
And they chased to the center!
And that's it! CJ Frozen with just a pure wall of explosive pressure will bring it home. After taking only 4 stocks in the beginning, UT Dallas clawed their way to last hit, last stock, the final member of the reigning champion of CECC, but ultimately they couldn't quite get in here. They'll have another chance at the Texas qualifiers, but for now, it is Winthrop in the LCQ that is going to CECC May Madness 2025.